Well, hello my fine gardening friends, how the devil are you? Well, welcome to a cloudy, just about to rain morning here in beautiful Nova Scotia. Still beautiful Nova Scotia, even at the end of summer, gone into autumn now. Still beautiful Nova Scotia. I'm always actually amazed at the abruptness with which we change from summer into autumn, fall here in Nova Scotia. 1 minute I'm sweating, just doing a bit of work in the garden. It's really humid here, dying to get into the pool. Labour Day comes, next thing I know, literally the next day, it's blowing a hoolie, it's cold, and I've got trousers on, pants, as we say over here. And all of a sudden, it's autumn time. And so definitely amazed at that sort of abruptness now. I'm just about to close my pool in the next week or so. Definitely too cold, even for a hardy soul like me to sort of pleasantly dip in there. But lots of other things to do in the garden, even though it's September time. And like I said in the video I did recently, sort of all the heat-loving plants are coming to an end. There's still lots of other things to do. Got to be busy, just like that Mr. Busy Bee behind me on that sunflower. And one of the big things we've got to do this month is collect seeds. And that's seeds, whether it be flowers or veg seeds. Really good time now to start thinking about collecting seeds. A lot of plants are starting to go over. A lot of the veg are starting to go over or become ripe. So therefore, it's a good time to be collecting seeds, and I think it's it's sometimes a bit fiddly, but it's definitely a worthwhile job to do. Number one, it saves you money. Number two, those seeds from the plants that you take them from they're going to normally grow plants that are actually going to be hardier and more used to your particular area than seeds that you buy in, because they've grown on a plant that has experienced what your little particular microclimate or climate, etc., the conditions. So they are going to normally grow better in your little area. And I said about, obviously it's cheaper as well, and it's good fun, and it means you can always keep the sort of the particular varieties that you enjoy, the heritage varieties, etc. So you're always going to have them on hand, not having to worry about whether they're going to be in stock in the old gardening store or not. Oh, there's a beautiful osprey just going above me there. What a beautiful bird. They'll soon be going down south. Anyway, right, back to the seeds. So there's lots of seeds we can be taking, plants we can be taking seeds from at this time of year. Like I said, obviously it's going to be mostly the plants that are becoming ripe, but we've got things like this coriander from, or cilantro. I think over here in North America, you actually call the cilantro plant seeds coriander seeds. So I would always call this a coriander plant, whether it be the plant or the seeds. Anyway, the point being, now there are lots and lots and lots of coriander seeds on this plant at this time of year. Now, there's a couple of different things I can use these coriander seeds for. I can use them obviously to grow new plants next year, and I can also use them in my beautiful Indian cooking. So whether you crush them up to make coriander powder, or you just use them as coriander seeds to add some great flavour. It's a completely different flavour to cilantro itself. Very distinctive, obviously, Indian. Oh yes, we like that. I'm going to cook a curry tonight, actually. Indian flavour, but a great plant to have. And these grow really easy in my garden now. They just pop up everywhere. But you can never have enough coriander seeds. So these ones are easy. All I do is going to cut up sort of, I can grab a handful of the plant even pull it out and just, in fact, it's better to cut them up. So I'll cut a load of these branches off, and as you can see, I'll just put them in there, and then when the actual stems are in the brown bag, I'll just run my hands over the seeds, and they'll just naturally fall off. And if you want to, what I would do is then, if you want to clean them and use them inside, take them inside, get a sieve, just put them in a sieve, run a bit of water over them, give them a good wash, and then lay them out on a nice dry kitchen towel. Might have to do that a couple of times, just lay them out there, let them dry off, and there you go, you've got your coriander seeds, and you can put them in a jar or whatever, and they'll last obviously months and months and months and months, years and years. So that's coriander seeds, are really, and it's the same sort of principle with most different seeds really, but let's have a look at, what else have I got here close up? Oh, I'll tell you what I've got behind me is some runner beans. Let's have a look at them, shall we? So here I have some runner beans. I was actually growing these really specifically for the actual seeds themselves, but even on your ordinary runner bean plant, if you let a few of these pods go all the way past their sort of eating stage, let the seeds actually go to fruition, and then you get these absolutely stunningly beautiful, let's get another one out, stunningly beautiful purple runner bean seeds there, as you can see. Again, now we can just lay these out on a kitchen towel or a rack or some sort and let them dry off nicely. Give them a week or so to dry off, and there we store them in a tin or an envelope. Obviously mark up what's in there, but there you go, and you'll have them for next year. Beautiful runner bean seeds there, and I've got some different types climbing beans there that I've done the same thing with. So just pick them all out of the pods, lay them on a rack or a sheet of paper to dry off, and then put them in an envelope. Beautiful. So that pesky squirrel, or one of the pesky squirrels in my garden, has been at my tomatoes, as we can see. Let me cut it off. Just cut the wrong one off. But it's been at my tomatoes, as you can see there. But that doesn't matter, because this one was, as you can see, nice and ripe anyway. And I can use all of these seeds that he's left behind, or she's left behind. And even if it, you know, the squirrel hadn't been at my tomatoes, I could use one of these tomatoes, let a few different tomatoes on your tomato plant go all the way to sort of really be ripe and overripe, etc. And then we can bring it in and harvest these seeds. So why don't we go into the kitchen and have a look how we're going to do that? Well, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm in the kitchen. I have just an ordinary sieve here. And I've got my tomatoes, which I'm going to throw in there. Now, what I want to do is just sort of generally take the inside guts out of the tomato and pulling the seeds in as much as is possible. Nice. Loads there. Just keep getting as many seeds out as you can. Just pull them out. Now, I'm going to give these a rinse underneath a cold tap. And that should start to rinse away the bits of tomato, etc. Just leaving the seeds, and you can, any thick bits of the tomato juice we can pull out. Now, as you can see there, I've generally just got the seeds left and a bit of the inside of the tomato. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give this a little bit of time to dry in the actual sieve, and then we'll come back. Right, so I'm just going to tap in the seeds out onto this kitchen towel. Got any left here? No. Make sure as many, they're all out. Okay, so I'm going to let them dry a bit more, and then they should be easier to collect once they've dried off a little bit more on this kitchen towel. Okay, so my seeds have dried now. There's still lots of rubbishy bits on there, but I can, and this is a bit fiddly, I can basically pick most of the seeds I want off the towel now, separate them from all the junk, and then all I've got to do is, I could put them in some sort of container or something, but I've got an envelope here. I've just cut it in half and taped up the side, but you could just use a small envelope. I'm going to put them in there and mark it up. Don't forget to mark it up with what sort of seeds you were. So these were tomatoes, weren't they? And they were black Krim. Black Krim. And it's also a good idea just to put when I actually enveloped them up. So we're in September 22. There we go. So I'll do the rest of those later. But I put that now in my little seed box somewhere dry and dark, but they're okay in the envelope, and they'll last a good 3 or 4 years now if I don't use them up next year. Here's those coriander seeds that I harvested earlier as well, and I give them I put them in the sieve and give them a good wash, and I can use these for cooking now, as well as obviously doing the same thing. I can envelope them up and keep them for next year, but I've got lots of these, so I can either just put these in a jar, in a spice jar, and keep them as it is, or crush them, or crush some of them up and have them ready made as a powder as it is. But it's always good to keep them in the seed form and then crushing them when I need them, because then they have that more fresh smell when I actually use them to do some cooking. So they're all good for cooking now, and they'll last a good few years as well. So there we go. Harvesting seeds, September, great time of year to be doing that, and it's a good sort of thing to be doing with your kids as well. Actually, they can actually see where you actually get the seed from, and then when you plant them up next year, they can see that little tiny seed grow into a beautiful plant, etc. So a great thing to be doing with kids. Either way, a great thing to be doing yourself. Save yourself money, stronger plants, and again, good for the environment. Job's a good one.